College life was everything I had imagined. A mix of excitement, new experiences, and newfound independence. As I moved into room 204 of the old campus dorm, I looked forward to the adventures that awaited me. However, little did I know that my college journey would soon take an unexpected turn into the realm of the supernatural. The dormitory was known for its rich history, and students often shared ghost stories and urban legends. While I found the tales intriguing, I never took them seriously. That is, until I started experiencing strange occurrences in room 204. At first, it was subtle, a soft creaking noise in the middle of the night, a draft that seemed to defy explanation, and the occasional flickering of lights. I brushed them off as the quirks of an old building. Yet, as the days passed, the incidents grew more frequent and harder to ignore. One night, as I was studying at my desk, I caught a glimpse of movement in the corner of my eye. I turned to find a shadowy figure disappearing into the darkness of the room. My heart raced, but I tried to convince myself it was my imagination playing tricks. I shared the room with my roommate Mark, who seemed unbothered by the strange occurrences. "You're just stressed, man," he would say, dismissing my concerns with a chuckle. But as much as I wanted to believe him, the unease gnawed at me. One evening, as we were getting ready to go out, Mark froze, staring at something behind me. I turned around to see a flickering light on the wall, forming what seemed like a word. It was faint and indistinct, but it sent shivers down my spine. "What does it say?" Mark asked, his voice trembling. "I can't make it out," I replied, my heart pounding in my chest. As we continued to watch, the flickering grew more intense and the word became clearer. It spelled out leave. "Okay, this is getting weird," Mark said, his bravado replaced by unease. We decided to investigate further, seeking the advice of the campus security guard, Mr. Johnson. He had been at the university for years and was well versed in its history and legends. "I've heard stories about room 204, Mr. Johnson said thoughtfully. "They say it's haunted by the spirit of a former student who died tragically." I couldn't help but be skeptical. "Haunted? You can't be serious." Mr. Johnson chuckled. I was skeptical too, until I experienced it firsthand. I once saw books flying off the shelves in there when no one was around. His words only fueled my curiosity. I was torn between fear and the desire to unravel the mystery. Mark, however, was adamant about moving out. "Look, I don't care if it's a ghost or just faulty wiring," he said. "I'm not staying here another night." But something inside me urged me to stay. I needed to know the truth. That night I decided to document the strange occurrences. I set up a camera to record the room while I slept, hoping to capture any unusual activity. As the night wore on, I felt an eerie presence, as if someone was watching me. The shadows danced on the walls and the air grew heavy. Suddenly a faint whisper filled the room, sending chills down my spine. The camera picked up a soft, indistinct voice that seemed to call my name. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling. There was no response, but the strange occurrences continued throughout the night. Books fell off the shelves, the temperature fluctuated, and the lights flickered uncontrollably. The next morning I reviewed the footage, and what I saw sent shivers down my spine. The shadows seemed to take on a life of their own, forming eerie shapes that danced across the room. The whispering voice was clear on the recording, calling out my name. I couldn't ignore it any longer. There was something in room 204, and it wanted my attention. With a mix of fear and determination, I sought the help of a paranormal investigator. The investigator, Dr. Monroe, examined the room and the footage with keen interest. "I believe there's a residual energy in this room," Dr. Monroe said thoughtfully. "It could be the lingering emotions of someone who experienced a powerful event here." As we delved deeper into the history of room 204, we uncovered a tragic incident that had taken place decades ago. A student named Emily had died in a fire that had engulfed the dormitory. Her death had left a lasting impact on the room, imprinted with the emotions of that fateful night. Dr. Monroe advised me to reach out to Emily's spirit, to acknowledge her presence and help her find peace. Despite my apprehension, I knew it was the right thing to do. That night, I sat in the room alone, addressing Emily with a gentle voice. I spoke of the life I was building in the dormitory and the dreams I hoped to achieve. "I don't know what happened to you, Emily," I said softly, "but I want you to know that you're not alone. We share this space now, and I hope we can find a way to coexist." As I spoke, the room seemed to grow warmer, and the shadows began to dissipate. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and I felt a sense of relief wash over me. In the following days, the strange occurrences in room 204 gradually faded away. The room felt like any other dorm, filled with the laughter and chatter of college life. Emily's spirit seemed to have found solace in our acknowledgement, and the haunting came to an end. College life had taught me that some mysteries were beyond our comprehension. The supernatural had intertwined with the ordinary, and I'd come face to face with the unexplainable. But it also showed me the importance of compassion and understanding, even in the face of the unknown. Room 204 had become a part of my college journey, a chapter filled with fear, curiosity, and ultimately, a sense of peace. And as I continued my college dorming experience, I carried with me the memories of that haunting, a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things can happen in the most unexpected places.